I know what he is now. I have known for 3 days. The only question left is whether he will let me leave before he no longer needs me.
Jonathan Harker had spent 3 days in the castle library. The Count had given him free use of it, perhaps not realizing what an educated man with enough fear and enough time could discover inside old books.
I found a book, very old, written in Latin. It described creatures called the undead, beings who had died but could not rest, who fed on the living, who could not enter a home uninvited, who cast no reflection, who could not cross running water, who slept in the earth of their homeland. I read every word 3 times. Then I sat very still for a long while. Then I went back and read it a 4th time, because I needed to be certain, because what I was thinking was insane, and because every single detail matched.
Jonathan Harker was a rational man. He had been educated to believe in evidence, in facts, in things that could be proven. He had spent his entire adult life building a world in which everything had an explanation. That world was gone now. It had been gone since the mirror.
He is not a man. He has never been a man, not for centuries. He is something that wears the shape of a man the way a wolf wears a sheepskin. Patient, deliberate, hungry.
That evening, the Count summoned Jonathan to dinner as usual. Jonathan came. What else could he do? He sat across from the man, the thing that had held him prisoner for weeks, and he smiled, and he answered questions about London, and he did not once let his eyes show what he knew.
You seem tired, Mr. Harker. The mountain air does not agree with everyone. I hope you have not been overexerting yourself in the library.
I said I have been reading. He smiled, that same slow smile, and I understood then he knew. He had always known what I was doing. He simply did not care because it did not matter, because I was not going anywhere.
I have been meaning to ask you something. Your fiancée, Miss Mina, she is in England. Yes, waiting for you. A devoted woman, I am told. Loyal, loving, quite beautiful, I imagine.
My blood went cold, not because he knew about Mina, because of the way he said her name, carefully, like a man who has been saying a name to himself for a long time and is finally allowed to say it out loud.
You must miss her terribly. I hope she does not worry. Letters from this part of the world can be unreliable. I would be happy to send word on your behalf, to reassure her you are safe and well and will return soon.
I said thank you. I said that was very kind. I said I was sure she was fine. And then I excused myself and walked, not ran, walked back to my room, and I sat on the floor against the door. And I thought about Mina in England, and I thought about 50 boxes of earth on their way to London, and I made a decision.
Jonathan stopped trying to find a door. There were no doors. He had checked every one, every week, and they were all locked from the outside. There was only one way out of Castle Dracula, the same way the Count had gone, down the outer wall, 300 feet of bare stone in the dark.
I watched him do it. I know it is possible for him. I do not know if it is possible for me. I am not whatever he is. I am 30 years old and I am afraid of heights, and my hands are shaking as I write this. But Mina is in England, and he knows her name, and that changes everything.
He packed nothing. There was nothing worth taking. He kept only his diary tucked inside his coat against his chest. The record of everything he had seen, everything he had understood, so that if he fell, if someone found him at the bottom, they would know, they would be warned.
I wrote one last entry before I went to the window. I want to set it down clearly in case I do not get another chance. His name is Dracula. He is not a man. He is coming to London. He has been planning this for years. Mina, if you ever read this, run. Do not ask questions. Do not try to understand. Just run.
My dearest Jonathan, I have had no letter from you in 19 days. I am not frightened. I refuse to be frightened. But I am writing to ask that you send word as soon as you can. I miss you terribly. Please come home soon. All my love, always. Mina.
Mina's letter arrived at Castle Dracula 3 weeks after she sent it. Jonathan never received it. The Count kept all letters. He had been keeping them since the beginning. He read each one carefully, then he smiled. Then he folded them and locked them away.
I went to the window at midnight. The Count would be elsewhere at this hour. The castle below was dark. The drop was exactly as terrible as I remembered. I put one leg over the sill, then the other. I found the first handhold. Cold stone. Solid. I breathed. I went down.
He did not think about the height. He did not think about the Count. He did not think about the women or the boxers or the library or anything he had read. He thought about Mina. He put his hand down, then his foot, then his hand, then his foot. The castle wall went down 300 feet. Jonathan Harker went down every inch of it.
I reached the bottom. I stood on solid ground for the first time in weeks. I looked up at the castle, huge and dark against the sky, and I ran into the forest, into the dark. I did not look back. Whatever was behind me, I did not want to see it.
Jonathan Harker escaped Castle Dracula on a Thursday night in late May. He was found 4 weeks later in a hospital in Budapest. He had no memory of the journey through the forest. He was delirious with fever. He kept asking the nurses in a whisper, over and over, whether the boxers had already left. Meanwhile, off the coast of England, a Russian schooner called the Demeter, 50 days out of Varna. Cargo listed as wooden boxers, Earth destination, London. The ship was logged at Whitby Harbor on the morning of August the 8th. Every member of the crew was dead. The captain was found lashed to the wheel, bound there by his own hand, so that whatever had come for the others could not take him from his post. In his log, the final entry, written in a hand that shook so badly the words were barely readable. He is here. I know it is him. God help us all. Next time, Dracula arrives in London. A young woman named Lucy begins to change, and a professor named Van Helsing receives a letter that makes him drop everything and board the first train to England.